Welcome ladies and gentlemen, call me the Dream Believer because that's who I am, and welcome back to Hoshizora, Wish Upon a Shooting Star. But let's not talk so much this time. Let's get right into the game. So last time we were, I have to talk a little bit. Last time we were at the new neighbor. We say hello to the new neighbors, to Aoi or however their family name was. But never mind, we're gonna get to that later. Apparently, having finished the dishes already as well, Aunt Chino goes back to her office. She works as a picture book author. All pretty cool. I would like to see some examples from her, and as such does most of her work from home. But apparently, whenever a deadline approaches, she tends to shut herself in her workroom like now. I can't possibly thank her enough for taking time off her busy schedule to prepare such a lavish feast to celebrate our moving in.
Phew, the way the hot tea just slides its way through the tiny open gaps in my stomach is just wonderful.
Don't drink while sprawled on the sofa. That's bad manners, plus you will get fat if you sleep right after eating.
Don't care. Today I'm not the same as usual.
I just can't for the life of me seem to locate what it is that is supposedly different about her. Well, whatever. After all, it is thanks to Chinami that none of Aunt Chino's cooking is left over. Guess I'll go for a little evening walk for some fresh air.
Where are you gonna go?
To the Hibarigasaki, I guess. Just taking a walk around the neighborhood.
Bye.
Leaving Chinami currently longing away on the sofa to herself, I walk out the door. Shortly thereafter, I begin to trek my way up to Yumemi Hill. Yumemi Hill, sorry. Really, I just don't know when to give up. The place I'm heading towards is the lookout. I know. We know. Just what is giving me the idea that I'll be able to see her at nighttime, even though I wasn't able to in the evening. It is currently 8:30 at night. In any normal family, a girl like her wouldn't be leaving the house this late. Even back when I used to play with her, the both of us would usually be home by a little before now. To begin with, that girl, Mare, she can't even be a teenager. There's no doubt that she's quite a bit younger than me. Precisely speaking, she is around the age the lookout girl was. So I just can't bring myself to believe that she will have gone to the near pitch dark lookout at this late an hour. But you still do, go there, so you still think. Or at least hope that she gonna be there. I fully understand that. My intent is so to immediately head home once I've confirmed with my own two eyes that no one is there. So I suppose basically that you could call this something along the lines of self-satisfaction. If Mare isn't there, then that is fine. However, the one thing I simply can't bear to do is to just go and assume she isn't there without actually checking for confirmation. That would be akin to discarding the small chance that she was in fact there, no matter however minuscule it may be. It will be no different from that time several years back. Mom told me we would move, and I just desultorily idly accepted the fact that the lookout girl and myself will have to say goodbye to each other, despite the fact that she, on the other hand, protested it. She tried to keep me here with all her might, down until the very last moment. Even after we had already exchanged our promise of reunion, she still...
ようくん、私にいい考えがあるよ。
Yukon, I have this great idea.
What
ようく
kind
ん
of
が引っ
idea?
越ししなくてもよくなるいい方法を思いついたの。
Just hit me. There's this perfect way, and that will make it so you don't gotta move. What would that
よう
be?
くんが大怪我するの。
All you gotta do is get hurt really, really bad.
Huh?
大
What?
怪我
What?
してね、近くの病院で暮らすことにするの。そしたら私が毎日お見舞い行ってあげるから。
You will get hurt real bad, and then you will have to start living in the hospital nearby.
And of course, when you do, I will come visit you every day.
住む家も食べるものも困らなくて済むよ。
That way you will have a roof over your head and food too. But I don't really want to do that. How come? Well, getting injured would hurt. And the thought of it kinda scares me.
男の子なんだからそれくらい我慢しなきゃダメだよ。
You're a boy, so you gotta be tough and put up with the little stuff like that.
You only say that because I'm the one that's gotta
こ
do
の
it.
展望台から街まで転がり落ちるだけでいいから。
All you gotta do is fall and tumble on down
To the town from this lookout here. It will be over in a jiffy. Forget it. I
よ
won't do
うくん
that.
って育児なしなんだから。
You're such a big scaredy cat, you know that?
I'm pretty sure anybody will feel the
じゃ
same.
あどうすればいいのかな。
And what do you suggest we do to solve this problem?
どうすればようくんと離れ離れにならないのかな。
How are we gonna make it so you don't have to go away? What about our promise that we will reunite? That we will definitely reunite no matter what might happen. But
いつになるかわからないんだもん。
there's no telling when that's gonna
よう
be.
くんいつ帰ってくるかわからないんだもん。
You don't know when you're gonna be able to come back.
私いつまでも待ってられるかわからないんだもん。
And I don't know how long I'll have to wait for you.
待ってたわ、ようくん。
I've been waiting for you, Yuko. A whitish figure sits there, having expected me. So strange, I still can't figure out. Is it just an illusion? Is it just a thinking of him? Or is she actually really there? That's what I really wanna know. This is my payoff for banking on that tiny hope, despite everything pointing to the opposite. Because of that, a surge of sharp pain coursed through my chest. Thinking that if I would just gotten myself injured back then, gotten myself into the hospital like she would only suggested, then maybe that would have prevented our eventual parting. It didn't even have to be a real injury for that matter, simply trying to persuade my mom by feigning some illness would have been adequate enough. Maybe I should have mustered up more effort on my part, since basically I accepted that we would have to move without so much as even talking to my mom about considering otherwise. Of course, however, my mom wasn't to blame for the decision. I was entirely positive that she, just like me, felt a reluctance to leave this town. The only one to fault in this scenario might have very well been myself, as I just casually allowed the turns and developments in my life to take me wherever they pleased, like pollen in the wind. Maybe it was my passiveness of not having acted at all when I actually should have tried to prevent us being torn apart, even if I ultimately didn't have the power to change anything at all, that gave birth to this frustrating predicament.
どうしたの？難しい顔して。
Why does the face? It's nothing. I shake my head. Yeah, I have to give Mare my attention now. Finally. I mean, I was actually able to meet her despite all the odds, so I can't afford to waste the opportunity. Yeah, you get it! I take my conscientiousness, which has trailed off into this distant past, and bring its focus to the girl in front of me. Come here to look at the stars again?
別に
Not really. Have you been waiting for me?
別に
Not really. But wasn't that what you just said a few seconds ago?
待っていたのは本当だけど、あなたの顔を見たら待たなきゃよかったと後悔したの。
It's true that I waited for you, but once I saw your face, instantly regretted the fact that I did. What's that supposed to
だってあ
mean?
なた、私を見た瞬間に辛そうにしたもの。
Well, I mean, the moment you saw me, you looked like you were in agony.
私は人の悪夢を狩るのが仕事だけど、できればその人が自分の悪夢を自覚していない時に狩ってしまいたい。
It's my job to read people's nightmares, but if I can, I want to do it at a time when they are not actively thinking about them.
あなた、悪夢を思い出したから辛そうにしたんでしょう。
The reason you had that look on your face is because you recalled your nightmare, right? I take notice of a frown forming on my face. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and assume that was a joke, but I can't really lie about
別に
that.
冗談じゃないわ。
I wasn't really joking though. You just called my memories nightmare? Maybe it was just by chance. After all, it's not like you can peek inside my head and see what's going on in my mind. I'm sure that's what it was, nothing else. I consider it, I don't know if I have any right to say this, but those words of yours, they just feel terribly offensive to me. To me, those memories are something special, something I cherish, yet you call them a nightmare.
そうなんだ。
Ah, I see. So it would make me feel a lot better if you could please apologize.
いや、
No. A flat out refusal. Keep your head now. Kogasaka you remember. Kogasaka you. So remember, you're dealing with a child here. See. A plain and simply sorry would be perfectly enough to make your friend here happy. No. This is stinking little
私
Riska.
がこの世で最も嫌いなものの一つが謝罪なの。だから嫌。
Apologizing happens to be one of the things in this world I hate most, so no. It appears that this Grim Reaper cosplayer girl is in her rebellious stage. Oh well, fine. I'm plenty used to this form of Chinami. I'm plenty used to this from Chinami
誰
already.
それ？
Who the heck's that? My little sister, she had an awful rebellious face in the past. Though by now she's more or less stabilized. Never mind the fact that her state of stability is a little weird, to say the
あ
least.
なたに妹なんていたの？
Oh, you have a little sister? Are you an only child, Mare?
死神に兄弟なんていないわ。
Grim Reapers don't have siblings. Could it maybe be that when she was younger and was waiting for him or talking about him, that someone just insulted her or something like that, and he kept her telling that she was a Grim Reaper or so, and I don't know, could it be? I don't know. I'll just take that as yes. Come to think of it, you said you didn't have any parents either, huh?
死神に家族なんていないわ。
Grim Reapers don't have family. Does that mean like this girl doesn't have a single relative? Maybe that is the reason why she's able to stay out at this late an hour. Not that I believe it to be actually true, of course. She has to be screwing with me. Then, abruptly, an idea comes to me. Say, do you appear here often?
出没って私を何だと思ってるの？
Appear? What exactly do you think I am? Well, a Grim Reaper.
何その投げやりな言葉。
Sounds like anything goes for you. The only piece of information I have regarding the lookout girl is her name. Accordingly, I don't know anything about her family either. Both her address and other possible contact information are entirely unknown to me. Which is exactly why my reunion with her must come at all costs. My only lead is her name at this lookout, so... Well then, I'll rephrase myself. Do you come here often? I guess. I'm usually here on cloudless nights. In that case, have you seen any other person besides yourself at this place? I have. Eureka! Would you happen to know their name or anything? Yeah. Please tell me. Aha! Hoshizora Yu. That's me. God damn it. Anyone besides me and you? No. And thus my master plan to gain some sort of lead has immediately proven to be a fruitless effort. Which means she hasn't been coming here at all. Now that I think about it, promise or not, there is just no way she would come to the lookout every waking day to check whether I was there or not. But you don't know about that. The much more likely option is that she would just forgotten about me during the course of all these many years. Though I really want to avoid entertaining the possibility. I mean, I've remembered this whole time, so I want to believe that she has as well. Damn it. Why am I so unlucky? Like, how did I never manage to get a single piece of contact information from her? I should have had countless opportunities to do so, so why exactly did I never think so? Is this also another curse of my passiveness? No, I feel like I had to have asked her once. After all, we could have easily kept in touch through phone calls or letters, even after I would move away. Yes, now he starts thinking. But the fact stood that we didn't do so. Why? There must have been some reason for it. Just think. That part of my memories is one of the hazy sections that appears like fog glass to me. No matter how much I try to wipe the glass, it just won't clear up. In the end, the two of us haven't heard anything at all from each other since the day I moved away. You're quite the dudhead today. I don't really get what, but something has marked me as a dud in her eyes. Yesterday was actually a better opportunity, but the stars had to go and get clouded over. Just my luck. What are you talking about? Talking to myself. So at the end of the day, what exactly are you? A Grim Reaper? A Grim Reaper that rapes people's nightmares. Nightmares rather than the person's life, per usual Grim Reaper? Right. And what are these nightmares you're talking about? Look it up in a dictionary. What does reaping a nightmare mean? While I've reaped them before, I have never experienced myself what it's like to have a nightmare reaped, so I can't say. Some Grim Reaper she is. Or maybe you could say that is actually normal precisely because she's a Grim Reaper? So then, why do you look so strangely similar to the girl I used to play with? Or is the truth that you are in fact her? Are you that girl who taught me the joy of having a friend? For the slightest moment I hesitated to voice these questions. Whenever you're hesitating between two sides, asking or not asking, you are best off going with the latter. Mayor says that in an indifferent tone. Questions that cause hesitation at the thought of asking are prone to considerable invading the inner heart, the inner feelings of the other. And if done so casually, without so much as considering the consequences, the asker wouldn't have even think of taking responsibility for that.
責任を取ってほしいのに。
And that while that's what the receiving party whose inner heart had been seen will truthfully
一緒
want.
に悩んで、一緒に怒って、一緒に泣いて、一緒に笑ってほしいのに。
And that while they would want to share their worries, their anger, their grief and their joy with the other.
だから、軽い気持ちだったら聞かないべきよ。
Hence, you shouldn't ask those kinds of questions unless you're fully prepared to be that someone.
その方がお互いのためだから。
That's what's best for both parties. The teeth in her hand gives off a silver glint, as if it to cast a warning at me. So, I squeezed out the air I had pent up in my lungs. But that means it's alright to ask once, absolutely convincing they have to, right? Mia's facial expressions changed drastically. This happens to be the very first time I've seen a definite visible shift in her emotions.
そうね。
Well, let's say this. However, as if I immediately pushing those emotions to the back of her mind, she quickly returns to her usual huffy expressions before
そう
continuing.
いう時は黙っていても相手の方から切り出してくるんじゃないの？
Should that time come, don't you think the other would bring it up of their own accord, even if you kept quiet? The very next moment, clouds obstruct the starlight for a single instant, and then Mary is gone. What's up with her? Tone it down, for Christ's sake. What time do you think it is? You will wake up the whole damn neighborhood.
だってねだってね。ちなみに今から寝ようとしたのにお部屋が大惨事になっててね。特にベッドの周りがひどくてこれじゃ安心して眠れないんだよ。
But I can't. I gotta be loud. This is super duper important. See, just now I was like gonna go to sleep, but my eyes spotted disaster within my room. The area around my bed in particular, I can't sleep in peace at this rate. Did you wet your bed?
ちなみは子供じゃないよ。
How do you think I am?
Ah, the little Shinami wet her Betty.
見たいんでちか？
You wanna see my wet Betty?
I'll gladly pass.
そうじゃなくてね。ちなみのお部屋が片付け終わったにもかかわらずひどいことになってるんだよ。
That's not even the problem anyway. Stop getting us sidetracked. Even though all my furnishing and stuff in my room is done, it's still a total mess.
Well, could it be you hadn't thrown away the packing materials?
難しいことはよくわからないけど、段ボールや古新聞やプチプチでお部屋が占拠されてるんだよ。これって空手の侵略者かな？宇宙人との異文化交流かな？
The question's a little hard to understand, but what I'm getting at is this. See, the cardboard with newspaper and bubble wrap. They're occupying my room. Maybe it's the doing of some unknown invaders, or some form of cultural exchange from aliens.
Boy, wouldn't it be great if an UFO came by the next second and just picked your arm up?
それが冗談だって思いたいけど、お兄ちゃんの目が本気だから、ちなみどうすればいいのかわからないよ。
Really wanna believe you said that jokingly, but your eyes are actually brimming with the seriousness, and I don't know what to do.
Do you really want to know? I doubt you will recover from the truth.
そんなにちなみのこと嫌いなの？
Do you hate me this much?
I plopped my hand down on Shinami's head. Stop fooling around and let's go clean up your room with both of us. It shouldn't take so long. It's too long.
Okay.
At the end of the day, I guess I'm also being soft on her. in one way or the other. At this rate, I hardly have any position to criticize Aunt Shino. With our combined effort, we get rid of all the packing materials. I then tell Shinami goodnight and leave her room. With that done, I reckon it is about time for me to go to sleep as well. But well, thing is, my bed isn't even set up. I guess I'll just have to use the couch in the living room for tonight. Since unlike yesterday, my room is presently filled with all the cardboard boxes I moved there today, I don't have space for an air mattress either. I need to get up early tomorrow so I can get all this furnishing and unpacking over with. Please, Almighty God, if you're out there, make it so Shinami doesn't offer to help me out. It is the first time in my life I've ever slept on a sofa, but it is actually a lot more comfortable than I imagined. Well. Sorry, I don't know what that means. Is it school time?
No, I was asleep.
My ears are assaulted by loud, heavy footsteps approaching from up the stairs.
Sorry, Oni-chan. I'll get started on breakfast right here in a second, so just wait. How come you're already eating just like yesterday?
Shinami bolts into the dining room with a blazing steel. Morning.
Don't you morning me while you just wipe your mouth with a napkin. Oh, gracefully, mister, I asked you a question.
Why you ask? Well, if I skip breakfast, my brain wouldn't be able to operate properly, that's why.
That's not what I was asking about. Don't you know breakfast is my responsibility?
Or was it?
Yes, it was. Did you not see the chore assignment sheet on the fridge? I made another one and put it up there before I went to sleep yesterday.
Oh yeah, the paper on the fridge.
You know about it.
There were countless misspellings and missing letters, so please fix it and resubmit it.
I'm in school or what?
Good grief, put yourself in my shoes for a moment. Do you know how much of a chore it is to put that thing in the shredder each day?
The fact you are going this far to destroy the chore sheet is making me really worried about the status of your sanity.
Remember, I said you aren't a morning person, so you don't have to push yourself out of your comfort zone to get up early and make breakfast.
And I told you that would be a big problem because we wouldn't have nobody to make anything.
Me? I'm doing it right now.
How can heaven just sit on their butts and allow this vicious act of disagreement against me?
Honestly, what does she want me to do?
Hey, how come that omelet's yellow?
That's how omelets are supposed to be.
Or when I make them, they turn out all black.
And hard. Well, that means you burnt them.
They turn out nice and pretty, just like tiramisu, you know?
Don't ever cook again for the rest of your life.
Oh, but I can't. I promised Mom in heaven that I will treat you to my egg dishes every morning from now on.
Second promise broken. Well done.
Mom, please believe me. Believe in me. Third time's the charm.
Enough of that. Go wash your face, and once you're done, get started on your breakfast. She sits down with a sulky expression. I told you to wash your face first.
洗ったもん。
Already did.
After squeezing a gallon's worth of mayonnaise on her omelette, she starts eating. Chinami has extreme love for mayonnaise. Mayonnaise, however, should have turned out pretty juicy. Doesn't taste good?
It does.
美味しい。
Glad to
ち
hear.
なみのティラミス風卵焼きには到底及ばないけど。
But it's still got nothing on my tiramisu omelette.
Yeah, sure. Chinami is evidently sullen all throughout breakfast, but she eats up every on her plates regardless. With breakfast over, it is now time to move on to today's agenda. That being the sequel to yesterday's unpacking and furnishing. I ended up having to do some rather strenuous labor yesterday, but my muscles still don't feel too sore. I suppose it must have been due to this town's healthy environment. Much thanks, Shibarigasaki. Alright, guess I'll start with the bed. The rule of the thumb when it comes to setting up a room is to always start with a larger piece of furniture first. I can't possibly allow myself to make the same mistake as Chinami. As for you, that little runt, no signs of showing up, it seems. I'm pretty damn worried that Chinami might actually offer to help, but so far there's been no hint of that. Peace and harmony. Oh man, this time of peace lasts forevermore. It is an earnest wish that comes from deep down in my heart. Guess that I will do her. I finished setting up my bed. To my great delight, none of the pieces failed to fit, and I didn't run out screws. It was smoothly sailing from start to finish. I flopped down the bed to rest for a bit. What's next? Just looking at the mountainous heaps of cardboard boxes in the room is enough to make my motivation plump. Adding on to that, the fact that I already went through all of this exact work with Chinami's room yesterday, going through a second day of this labor straight in succession, is taking a toll on my mind rather than my body. So if I don't buckle down do it, I will never get done. Alright, next I'll open all the cardboard boxes, and on second though, actually, I guess I should first peel the tape off of my dresser. After that, I'll sort out all the clothes that I have crammed into that plastic container. That's when, inadvertently, a bag placed on that container catches my eye. It's the book bag I used at my previous school. Inside aren't textbooks, but farewell gifts. That would be it out being told that I received from my former classmates. I got one from all the boys together and one from all the girls, though I don't know exactly what those presents are. The reason being that on my last day they urged me not to open the bag until I arrived at my new home. I don't know why. Maybe it would be a tad embarrassing for them if I opened them right then and there, or maybe they wanted to give me a surprise later on. In any case, I should probably thank them. Open them! Once I've gotten a little more settled down here, I'll send them a simple thank you message. Okay then, let's have a look and see what these presents are. I excitedly open my bag, visualizing faces of my former classmates within my mind. The color of my bearskin appears before my eyes. Okay, a porn magazine. I get the sudden urge to bunch of those classmates. I'll just call it to mine. But the girls is at least something serious. Their present turns out to be a sheet of colored paper, and scribbled on it are personal messages from each of them. Damn, there's even one who wrote that she had a crush on me, but I imagine she probably just thought it would be funny. The girl in question was our class representative, I guess. Literally every conversation between us consisted of her nagging at me while I tried to give her some sorry excuse. I don't remember receiving cookies from her one time during cooking practice, but she strongly emphasized that it was merely because she would happened to make too many of them and didn't want to be wasteful and toss them. I also received chocolate from her on Valentine's Day, but she strongly emphasized that it was merely out of courtesy, nothing else, and that she would give the same to all our classmates, our other classmates. If she actually was serious about the confession she wrote on there, I guess that will place her in the tsundere category. Tsundere, this is kind of, I'm not sure, but it's something like, so wait, let me say it better. So tsundere is a female character who is usually cold, but she becomes spoony on her lover, or she is cold to the main character at the first, but she becomes love struck later. So I guess you know what it means. So for example, in front of a lot of people, but the lover is there, she's like, you know what I mean? But if they are alone, she's like, oh, you're the greatest person in the world. No? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna end this episode right here. This is so cool. I really like this. It's got so much into it that that's why I like those games, those kind of games. I don't know. How about you, ladies and gentlemen? Never mind, ladies and gentlemen. If you like it, share it, subscribe, but don't leave anything out. Don't leave anything out. And as always, remember, dreams come true. So what you to do? Just believe in you, and always, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget that. Always watch some animes. And yeah, enjoy watching.